Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Excited to be connecting in with you. I can't believe we are at the end of May. This year is just going by so quickly. I don't know if you're experiencing that as you tune in today, but I know I'm experiencing that. Almost this acceleration of everything. And I'm excited by that because I think we had this slowdown and we had all this shifting that we were faced with around the world. And it's exciting to me to see that accelerating and things moving forward, and we have an opportunity to be part of that. But I think it's important that we are being mindful and purposeful as we are stepping forward, that we're choosing what we're spending our time and energy on, so that as we navigate and move forward and we start to set new patterns and new ways of doing things, that we're doing things in a very powerful, thoughtful, mindful way in alignment of where we're really wanting to go, what we're wanting to build. And some of the things that we've been talking about in May are overcoming challenges. How do we do that? How do we not just survive, but thrive no matter what? And a big part of that is resiliency. Are we building resiliency in our life? Are we able to bounce back when the unexpected happens and challenges happen? How are we handling that? Because it's not an if, it's when. When those things happen, do we have tools in our toolbox to really support us to stand again, to rise again, and do so in a more powerful, refined, clear way because of that challenge, that it actually helped us get more clarity, more focus, so that we can be even more purposeful in what we're doing and what we're bringing forward. And this becomes especially important as things speed up and as we have this acceleration. Are we building and remembering to build those tools in our toolbox? Because we will have challenges. And we have an opportunity to become resilient. We have an opportunity to overcome. We have an opportunity to build those tools to help us navigate and keep moving forward powerfully and purposely. I'm just thrilled to have everyone joining us today, and we have two amazing experts that have united forces to bring forward something really exciting that they're going to be sharing about a little bit later. And I love when two powerful, dynamic, amazing experts come together and unite collaboratively to make something amazing that can really help us. And it's in this area of resiliency. So I'm just thrilled and excited that they're joining us today. And I know that you're going to get so much out of our conversation, as well as being looking forward to all that is going to be coming and all that they will be bringing forward. So I want you to become fully present. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. Just slowing down a little bit so that you're open, available, ready to receive. Take another breath in through the nose. Close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put both hands on your heart so you can really stop and slow down and feel in. This breathing helps us lower our stress levels, our cortisol levels, so we can become truly present, open, available to receive. Beautiful. So as we're doing this and we're taking a moment, I want to remind you of a couple things. This is your time. This is an opportunity for you to be still, to be present, to be poured into, to be filled up, so that as you go back out into the world, you're going back out in a way that you're full, filled to overflowing, so that you're able to do all the things that you want to do, but from a place where you're empowered and full and have energy. But it takes these moments of slowing down and being poured into. So as you're enjoying just being still, being connected, being ready to receive, what is it you need? What do you need today that will encourage you, support you, empower you. What do you need today? Real time. That you are willing to receive because you have choice. So what do you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Let's just identify that information. Take another breath. Come back into the room. Fully present. Beautiful. Take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart that you need, are willing to receive. You're just identifying it. You don't have to figure out how. In fact, you get to be excited and surprised by the wonderful and unexpected way this need will be met and move forward for you. You get to be open to receive. Beautiful. We're going to take a moment and go through our virtual room here. We're connecting with people in different parts of the country and the world, and that's exciting. And let's start with you, Dr. Kasturi, all the way from Belize. Can you share when you took a moment, just 15, 20 seconds, what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
I was filled with gratitude that there is this support system that is willing to show up and help me continually seek resiliency and make it seamless no matter where it is I am. So gratitude is what is filling my heart.
I love that. And I can feel it overflowing. Just so beautiful. And having community come together and support makes such a difference. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Mark? What was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
Well, I think that through the journey I've taken, both by myself and with Dr. Cass, that I'm really blessed that I keep getting to learn. As I help others and try to teach others, I'm learning daily also. And improving daily, there's nothing better than that.
I love that, and how beautiful that is we get to help others and keep learning and growing on the process, on the way too, and on the journey. I love that. So beautiful that we all get to keep growing and learning. And Mark, I love that you allow room for that. That you're celebrating that opportunity to help others learn and grow, and to keep learning and growing as well. So beautiful. How about you, listeners? Absolutely. Listeners, as we get ready to go to our first commercial break here, I want to encourage you to stay present. As those commercials are playing in the background with information updates we absolutely want you to be aware of, really stay still and see what's speaking to your heart, what's speaking to your spirit. Is it gratitude? Is it that process where you're learning, where you're helping others learn? Is it that journey and that connection? What is speaking to your heart and your spirit? And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you.
Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141.
You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that opportunity to be still and listen and really hear what's on your heart and your spirit, an opportunity to catch up with ourselves. Sometimes we're moving so fast, we're not listening, even to what is bubbling up within us. So I hope that you take those 2-minute moments that we have built into the show on purpose to support you as we have our time together today to really process what's being shared, to take great notes, and then also to listen to how that's speaking within you, what that's prompting within you as well. So I encourage you to take notes, be present, and we're just thrilled that all of you are joining us today as we really take a closer look at resiliency. I'm just excited to introduce our first guest. I know you're going to love his heart, his spirit, his personality. Mark Hoberman is a former English teacher with over 30 years experience and a camp administrator and consultant for almost the same amount of time. Mark was diagnosed with epilepsy at age 16 and learned determination and resiliency as a result of his journey with epilepsy. He is the creator and host of the talk show Lighting the Educational Flame. He's a speaker and co-founder of the Beacon Awareness Group, or network, I should say, Beacon Awareness Network. And he is absolutely passionate about helping you not let struggles define you. You get to define you. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Mark Hoberman to the show. Welcome.
Hey, Rebecca. Thanks so much for that great introduction.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have you joining us today. And I neglected in the opening segments to have you share where you were joining us from. So I'd love to start with that. Where are you joining us from today?
So I am in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, which is about 7 minutes from Allentown, Pennsylvania, right near Dorney Park. So that's where we are today.
Oh, I love that. And I'm in California, so we're in all these different places, which I just great. Love the ability for us to join in and be in the same time and same place with each other, as well as all of our listeners around the world. I love the power of technology and the gift of that. And I'm excited to talk with you about why you are so passionate about not letting struggles define us, about really being able to grow and be resilient and keep stepping forward. Why is that so important to you?
Well, great question, Rebecca. It's important to me because I suffered as a child, as a 16-year-old. That's not super young child, but I moved from Yonkers, New York to Florida on 3 weeks' notice. Not the best time for a teenager to move. And it was only a month or so after that I had an epileptic seizure behind the wheel of a car, and I did that. No, I had epilepsy at the time. So it wasn't that seizure that was half as bad as managing and navigating my life as a teen in a new area with this diagnosis. And I've seen this as a teacher. I've seen pain in other students, and I feel like I've developed this kind of sixth sense to know when they're suffering, and later morphed into knowing when their parents are suffering in the same way. So it's my passion. I've helped my own children through struggles, and it's just important to me because unfortunately I lived it, and so I can walk and talk the talk in that manner.
Absolutely. And I was just, as you were sharing that, going to a moment and how scary that must have been, not only being in a new place, but behind a wheel and have an episode like that, and then just learning how to navigate all of that. And I love that it's created this sensitivity in you and this gift in you to really be able to see those struggles in others and be able to walk beside them and empower them. So thank you for sharing and your willingness to walk beside others and to use that gift of that sensitivity to help so many people. Thank you for the work you do.
Oh, well, my pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're focusing on resiliency today for a few reasons. One, this is very timely for what we've been talking about in May, but also really ties into a special project that you and Dr. Cass are working on. And I wanted to start with, what is resiliency? When someone says resiliency, I think sometimes we think different things. So when you think of resiliency, how do you define it? What is it?
Well, to me, resiliency is the ability to bounce back, but emotionally and physically, and just being able to move forward, to be able to not be embarrassed by our mistakes, but kind of embrace them and learn from them. If you can keep coming back and improving daily, that's resiliency.
I love that. So we don't have to be perfect. We can just release that. And we get to keep learning and growing. I love that. Each day we get to keep going forward. And I love that you're bringing up this components that is emotionally and physically that we get to keep rising up. We get to keep going forward. And those are part of resiliency. So do you mind sharing? We almost need a drum roll. Trying to do drum roll here. A drum roll for the name of this powerful book, this powerful project that you and Dr. Cass are working on. Do you mind sharing the title of this amazing book?
Sure. It's the Resiliency Playbook. And those two words are important, as we just mentioned, resiliency. But it really is a playbook. It's a play-by-play, as if you were on a sports team and doing things one at a time, following the methodology and learning daily, reflecting daily, and building your resiliency one page, one day at a time.
I love that. I love that. And I'm so glad you shared that, because I had a different picture in my head. I was thinking playbook like a workbook. So instead of it being work and heavy and hard, I was getting to play and learn and grow and discover. But I love this as play by play, page by page, that we get to grow and learn. So it sounds interactive in what's been created. What are some of the things that you hope people get out of this book and discover and after experiencing it become?
Well, interesting, because you kind of answered part of that earlier when you said, well, it's so nice we don't have to be perfect, because if we had to be perfect, boy, am I in trouble. Houston, we have a problem. So there is no perfection. I believe that perfection is being open, reflecting, and growing day by day. That's perfection. And that's what we want people to learn from this, that perfection doesn't exist. Just getting better and better. And it's not easy, but it's not this long, drawn-out, difficult thing, especially when you have people who have the experiences that Dr. Cass and I have, and bring it to you in this kind of playbook form where really you fill out charts and we have real-life anecdotes. And I love to use the word power. It's powerful, but more important to me when someone reads it, it is empowering for them.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I'm excited about this book. I've had a chance to get a preview of it, and it's really good. It's interactive. It's insightful. It is stretching. And I agree. I believe it's very empowering, the process that people get to go through on the journey, and the encouragement, and it's practical and profound. Like, it has all of that in this book. And I know it's coming out on July 20th. I have it marked in a big red marker because I'm excited. So red on my calendar is good. Launch day. Great. So July 20th. And I hope everyone leans in and puts that date on your calendar. And here's why it's so special. On that day, it's the first day of release. It'll be released on Amazon, and it's going to be available for a special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours. And we're really wanting to reach as many people as possible. So I encourage you, put it on your calendar, help us share it out. It's just an amazing book, and you heard it here first. You're getting to save that date and lean into a really powerful tool and resource you can add to your library. And as it's coming closer, Mark, are you excited? How are you feeling about it?
Excited is putting it lightly. I don't know if I have the word for it. I'm excited. I'm proud. I don't say this lightly. I'm excited for other people. I'm excited for people to shortcut it because, my father used to always say, do as I say, not as I do. Mm-hmm. When I was first diagnosed, it took me well over 30 years to tell people and then really put things together. So I'm so excited for people to be able to. It's not going to be fast and easy, but it absolutely is a shortcut to help them improve their lives in everything, in school, in work, in their relationships, absolutely everything. So I'm really excited about that. And, of course, working with Dr. Cass was a blessing, and I'm beyond thrilled with that relationship as well.
I'm so excited, and I'm thrilled that we're able to have both of you on the same time, which is very exciting to have both co-authors of this and co-founders of the Beacon Awareness Network. And I'd love for you to share why you guys decided to partner up both with this book and with the network. Yeah,
so Dr. Cass and I met through a mutual friend and business associate, B. Davis from Sassy B Worldwide. And we just went into an office building that had a Starbucks, and we sat. And I'm being totally transparent here. After we both told our stories, maybe 10 minutes each, just slipped in there, Dr. Cass said, we should write a book. From the back of my mind, I said, oh, what a nice compliment. That's it. Little of me saying, where's this person coming from? And then 10 minutes later, I said to myself, oh yeah, we have to write a book. So it was just a natural, when you sit with someone, it was our first meeting. I would say it felt like it was my 50th meeting. It was like having coffee with a friend. The respect we have for each other, the respect we have for each other as not just individuals, but as professionals, and what our reality has been and continues to be. So it was a match made in heaven. It was just like automatic partnership.
Thank you for sharing. I love that. I didn't realize that was where the first meeting took place. So I appreciate knowing that and having that really bubble up in both of you, and then honoring that you both followed that through and birthed the book and brought it forward pretty quickly. How long would you say it was from that, yes, we need to do this, to actually bringing it forward to be launching on the 20th? When did you guys start that journey?
So actually, we knew in our minds what we wanted to do, and a couple of months later, we had a lot of other calls, a lot of other business things, sharing our vision. But then, at some point, Dr. Cash just said, "Okay, let's start to outline this book and put down our vision of what we want it to be." And I think that it went so quickly, not because two people were doing it, because it was so structured, so organized, so laid out. You could argue that we had a playbook to write our playbook. and that's what made it much easier, and I think much more impactful, because my mind wasn't all over the place. It was very, very focused.
Oh, I love that. So walking the talk here, playbook to create the playbook. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, I wanted to circle back to, you have such an expertise in helping people move forward in such powerful ways, and we're kind of leaning into resiliency in particular. Is there a piece of advice or tip you want to give to any of our listeners today that perhaps are maybe struggling and not feeling super resilient? What piece of advice would you give them today?
Well, I would say, first of all, that you can not control all of your situations. ever. Nobody can. But you can always control your attitude about those situations. And that's why my teaching mantra, my life's mantra has been what you said earlier. Don't let your struggles define you. You define you. Everybody has struggles. Everybody has problems. Anybody you know, celebrities, relatives, friends. It's how you deal with them. And are you going to let yourself be defined by that issue, by that struggle, or are you going to define yourself?
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do this, listeners, I want you to think about what Mark has shared with us. And if you are in a challenging situation, if you're struggling, don't let the struggle define you. You get to define you. So what are some ways you are choosing to define you? What are some ways you can step further into your resiliency? And really feel into all that's speaking to your heart and to your spirit from Mark has shared. Please mark on the calendar July 20th for the release of the Resiliency Playbook. And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall-Griter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world. Hosted by NYLC CEO Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you.
Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141.
You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited to be continuing the conversation with you. We've been talking about resiliency and excited about the launch of the Resiliency Playbook that Mark and Dr. Cass are bringing forward and releasing on July 20th. So I'm excited pre-launch that we are getting to talk with both of them today as they talk about resiliency and really pour into us, sharing their wisdom and insight. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kasuri Henry. You'll hear me call her Dr. Cass, and you'll hear me call her Dr. Kasuri. I kind of switch back and forth, but it's the same person. She is an in-demand member of the Forbes Coaches Council, CEO of Cass Henry Incorporated, founder of the Ennobled for Success Institute. She is a #1 international best-selling author, and her experience includes Duracell brand acquisition for Warren Buffett and business transformation for the Chicago Teachers Pension Fund. She is a graduate professor who works with students representing the U.S. military, public safety, and private sector, and nonprofit, lots of, let me start over there. She represents lots of different sectors. So her students represent the U.S. military, public safety, the private sector and nonprofit sector, the international. And actually, before I jump there, I feel like this is a perfect embodiment. It's not about perfection, right? We learned that from Mark earlier. It's really about we just keep going forward. So let me keep going forward as I continue to share about our amazing Dr. Cass. She is an international podcast host. Her show's recently been picked up by several different networks, and her journey includes coming out of a civil war as a young girl to rising up and becoming a U.S. CFO. She believes we can all become ennobled for success. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Dr. Kessary Henry. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That was such a warm and kind welcome. Appreciate that.
Oh, you are so welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us and excited about all that you're doing, including this powerful book that you and Mark are coming together to co-author and bring forward to the world. And I wanted to start our conversation about ennobled for success. What does that mean? And how does that tie into resiliency?
I'm so glad you asked that question. Ennobling is a process by which we bring out the noble qualities that each human being is capable of embodying, but it's done through the help and facilitation of other people. Somebody has to hold the mirror and show us how to get there. And by being open to learning and growing and transforming with purpose while evolving intentionally, allows us to get there. And as we get there, how do we turn around and ennoble other people so that as we take that journey upward and forward, we're taking other people along so that we're building a tribe.
I love that. And as we're doing that and we're lifting others along the journey and those mirrors are being held up, how does that help us tap into our resiliency? How does that help us continue to move forward as we're ennobling each other?
You know, a lot of times people say that I can accomplish things on my own because it's all about me and it's my success, or I came into this world alone. But the reality is none of us came into this world alone and none of us are going to leave alone. Our mommy pushed us, right? And went through hours of pain, and medical professionals helped us come into this world. And when we leave this world, at least 4 people are going to carry us into the ground or into the funeral pyre, right? So how do we build resiliency if we don't live our life alongside other people? And if I am going to evolve with intent, if I'm going to transform with purpose, then how do I do it alongside others? Because my frame of reference is only going to get strengthened. Smart people learn from other people. Dumb people have to make their own mistakes, kind of a thing, right? So how do I collaboratively take this journey? Because the sum total of my accomplishment in life is nothing but the sum total of my influence. So I cannot have a life that is successful and thriving unless I can influence, and I can't influence if I don't share this journey with others. So for Mark and I, even writing this book was a true blueprint of this ennobling journey of building resiliency, because it was kind of like a love at first sight, and we got married on the first day, but then we figured out how to do things with each other, and then different cultures, different upbringing, different language, different gender, you name it, everything was different. But we built our resiliency and we built our business, and that also has gone into the evolution of this book. So we are sharing something we know for sure works.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm even thinking if we flash back to that coffee date that you had.
Yes, it was a chaperoned coffee date.
And this idea bubbled up in you. Do you mind sharing? Because I know Mark shared a little bit of his perspective of that experience. I'd love to hear yours.
what went through my mind is, here is a teacher, a Jewish gentleman from the United States with his own set of experiences and his own journey to overcoming adversity. And looking at my journey, looking at his journey, looking at what everybody was going through, that we met at the Berkshire Hathaway office lobby. Mm-hmm. And I am working on international post-acquisition integration. So everybody is transforming from being Procter & Gamble to Berkshire Hathaway. As a business, I am helping build resiliency. Mm-hmm. In the classroom, we are educating our students to go and execute resiliency in the workplace, but also take that and make intentional choices in life to build a resilient society. So resiliency is not a solo pursuit. It's a social pursuit. It's an economic pursuit. It's a professional pursuit. So it occurred to me that given our differences, if we came together, we could do something very magical. And in that process, show to people, it doesn't matter where we come from. It doesn't matter how dissimilar we are. If we care enough to build bridges, we can together build resiliency and thrive. So it was more than just the book. It was about letting our life and our work be a larger message, and the book being the conduit for making that happen.
Thank you for sharing. I think that is so powerful, and the vision that went into creating it, and the heart and the spirit. And to me, this is the message, and what is being echoed and shared out ties into the cover that was designed really beautifully, the network, the systems that were created in it. So I'd love to touch on those. Can you explain what the cover looks like and why?
Oh, definitely. When I and Mark were working on the book and we are building it, I'm a very visual person. I'm not a native English speaker. So when you're a multilingual person, you learn to communicate by having a visual image and then choosing the language for the audience so that your thinking is independent of vocabulary. Okay, that's a little trick we do. Otherwise, the brain has to translate and it's too cumbersome. So my mind's eye saw the image as the Resiliency Playbook being the beacon. It's going to safely guide everybody home, and you're going to get ashore, right? And the light is going to guide you. But as the light guides you and you come ashore, there is a new dawn. The beautiful thing about life is that every day is a new day, and we have 24 new hours to do something better and improve on something. We're not competing with anybody else. We're only becoming a better version of who we were yesterday. So the dawning of this day and the sun rising was to symbolize hope. No matter how bad the storm is, there's always a hope. And then as you come ashore and the light is guiding you and the sun is giving you hope, there is this beautiful green pasture and these colorful flowers to remind me that there is joy. And there is all the good things that are going to come, even though it feels right now that I am in a dark, stormy sea.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I love the power of the cover and the light beam cutting through the darkness and seeing the sun come up. And those flowers also remind me of growth, that things will grow and rise again, and the ground is fertile, and we get to experience that in our lives as we weather the storms and come through them. So it's just a beautiful, powerful cover. And I think it'll connect deeply with people. And I also know that you guys are co-founders of the Beacon Awareness Network. And I'd love for you to share what is that about, and how does that tie to some of the processes that were built into the book?
I'm glad you asked that question. We did not want our partnership to be just write a book and go our separate ways, because that really doesn't purposefully help the ultimate cause of what we were trying to do. So what we thought is, we value the symbolism of the beacon, and resiliency is about awareness, self-awareness, social awareness, collective awareness. So we thought, what a nice way to build a network and bring about a group of people who can not only help themselves take this journey, but in this economy, as we are shifting from employment economy to a gig economy where anybody can work from anywhere and employers rather use contractors to do the work on a skill by skill basis for individual outcome driven purposes, people are going to have to figure out how to build their own businesses and how to thrive. Mm-hmm. So in creating opportunity for people to build resiliency, we thought, why not? Why not give people an opportunity to become certified coaches as part of Beacon Awareness Network, and then develop their own book of business to build a coaching community and generate income for themselves. And then we continually provide continuing professional education and the tools to do coaching so that we can build a cadre of resilience coaches. We can't touch every life, but we can help people who can touch their corner of lives.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that and kind of the vision of what's being brought forward so that we can empower each other. And to me, this just so embodies all that you have both been talking about, lifting each other up, continuing on the journey, not letting struggles define you, but really going deeper, building who you are, bringing it forward. And then here's a way to impact those around you in such a powerful way. And people don't have to figure it out all on their own. You guys are creating.
Yes, and not being a teacher, working with young people and their parents helps us reach a completely different population, right? And I'm working with adults and professionals. So between us, we can impact resiliency and transformation at school, at home, at work, for both parents, leaders, employees, children. So the goal is to touch holistically the transformation.
Beautiful. I love that. And I love how those differences in journeys and experience and groups that you support are being woven together so beautifully and powerfully to serve even more. I just love that vision, love what you're creating. And then I asked Mark this, I want to ask you as well. Are you excited about the book and how excited, and what are you hoping people get out of it?
I am super excited. I think timing is perfect. We're coming out of the global pandemic in a way that sometimes people feel like the world they know has disappeared. So why not give everybody the tools to reinvent themselves and take a shared journey? Because ultimately we get to shape the world we are going to live in.
Yep.
And here is a tool and an opportunity and a collaborative partnership that we can make it so.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. We are excited about it. So once more, just in case anyone missed it, the release date is July 20th. It's called the Resiliency Playbook, and it'll be available the first 24 hours for that special rate of $1.99. So any of you who likes a deal, I love a deal, here's an opportunity. So I encourage you to mark that on your calendar. Huge value, amazing book and process to support you and help you become, and I loved what Mark and Dr. Cass have shared, really become a better version of yourselves. It's not about competing with anyone outside of you. It's about evolving and continuing to grow. And this is an amazing tool and book and resource to help you do that. So I hope that you lean in. We are taking our next commercial break, and it gives you an opportunity to really process some of what Dr. Cass has shared with us, what Mark has shared with us, and really see how it's speaking to you and really breathe in all that serves. And we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
A powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com, and make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you.
Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141.
You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. It can go by so quickly, having an opportunity to breathe and receive and really process everything that's speaking to your heart and to your spirit. And I'm going to encourage you at the end of today's show, really take a couple of minutes just for you. Process all that has spoken to you, that has been insightful for you. Give yourself a couple moments to digest it, and then look ahead at the day and choose mindfully, purposely the next steps that you take. You are an amazing gift in the world. There's no one else just like you. And I believe you were designed on purpose for such a time as this. And we all have this opportunity to impact each other's lives. And let's do that purposely, mindfully, in a way that really brings forward, echoes out those things that matter most. I love what Dr. Cass and Mark have shared with us, how they are embodying what they are teaching, what they are bringing forward, what they're wanting to help you do. And that when we seek to build those bridges, when we seek to lift each other up, we do. And we encourage each other, that we get to define ourselves and how we are moving forward. So take a couple moments when we end the show to really breathe that in, digest it, and then make some choices around that as you choose mindfully and purposely the next steps that you're taking today and this week. So with that, I wanted to circle back to our amazing guests so that you have an opportunity to connect in with them, to go deeper. So one, we hope that you have written July 20th, last reminder, so nobody misses out. July 20th, they will be releasing on Amazon the Resiliency Playbook for that super special rate, the first 24 hours. So make sure to put that on your calendar. And then secondly, I wanted you to know how to connect with them, how to take things to another level. If there's something they shared today that sparked you, that you wanted to learn more, I want you to know how to do that. So let's start with Dr. Cass. What's the best way for people to connect in with you?
They can always connect with our business, Beacon Awareness Network, at beaconawarenessnetwork.com. We have our own website. With me directly, they can reach me via LinkedIn, probably the easiest way. So it's Dr. D-R-K-A-S-T-H-U-R-I-H-E-N-R-Y, Dr. Kasturi Henry. I am on LinkedIn in my full name. And then if you want to reach me on Facebook, Dr. Cass Henry, if you connect in one of those two ways, or go to my website, casshenry.com, www.casshenry.com. All my social media handles are there. You can reach out to me directly.
Beautiful. I love you're so accessible in all of those places. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it, and for joining us today. And Mark, what's the best way for them to connect in with you and go deeper?
Sure. They could always reach me at Mark, M-A-R-C, at gradesuccess.com. Also, my author and motivational speaking site, Mark, at markhoberman.com. And any of those sites, gradesuccess.com, markhoberman.com, they can certainly reach me there. On Facebook, I'm down as Grade Success, so I'm kind of accessible too. They'll be able to reach me any way they need.
Oh, I love that. Thank you both for being available, accessible in multiple ways. And for both of you honoring that little thought that bubbled up in you about, we should write a book. And that you honored that. And
good
you
idea.
leaned forward.
Let's do that.
I love that because sometimes, we have these things that bubble up, we have these ideas, and then they just go away. We don't bring them forward. And not only have you brought them forward so powerfully, you've created a network, you've created a way to bring coaches forward and impact in so many different circles and spheres of influence. Like, it's become so much more than a powerful book. And I love that you followed, both of you leaned in, you followed that journey, you embraced the differences and brought them together to something so powerful and so impactful. So that just makes me happy. It's such a great example for all of us. And then on top of that, both of you being so willing to let us reach out to you and connect with you. So thank you again for making time to talk with us today. I know, Dr. Cass, you just moved to Belize. It's a busy time. I know, for both of you, this is a really busy time, pre-launch, all those pieces coming together. And I appreciate in the middle of all of that, both of you carving time out to share with us today and share so candidly and deeply with us. Thank you both.
Our pleasure.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for having us. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And listeners, thank you. If we wouldn't have a show without you. So I'm just honored to have all of you leaning in, being part of it. I hope that this program today, this episode, has served you and really touched you in a powerful way, giving you some things that you can put in that toolbox to support you in your resiliency, and maybe even redefining how you look at resiliency. Maybe how you're looking at struggles, challenges, differences, that perhaps in that there is opportunity to define who you truly are, to become ennobled, to lift each other up, to go through and then reach back and help another through, to share your wisdom, insight, and journey with others. So as you get ready to go back out into the world again, I encourage you to take a couple moments for you and remember that you are a gift, beautifully and wonderfully made, absolutely needed in the world, ennobled for your success, empowered to be resilient and build and become all that you are called to build and become, because you define you. So wherever you go, whatever you do, be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Dig your roots deeply, tap into resiliency, and be willing to help those that come alongside you as they help you. Be willing to lean in, connect, and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter.
Next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel.
Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.